What's up, guys? All right, leaving the gym. I want to talk to you about something. I've noticed that when I ask my kids, to clean their room or clean up some toys in the living room or whatever, they spend more time whining and complaining about it than it actually takes them to do the job. And in truth, though, you can't blame them. We're all like that, right? When something happens, it's like outside of our normal patterns, our routines, we tend to want to just complain about it rather than just sucking it up and doing it, right? But eventually, it's got to get done. And so I was thinking about like a Stoic philosophy, all right, which is, this is kind of my take on Stoicism. It's basically, it's like the philosophy of control, understanding what you control in life and what you don't, okay? And so then doing something about what you have a little control over and letting go of the rest. And when you think about it like this, man, you can just relieve yourself of a lot of anxiety when you do that. Let me give you a few examples. Let's say you're having let's say something happens and you can't make it to your doctor's appointment, okay? And so you're worried you're going to be out of medicine, okay? Well, in most normal situations, you would just call your doctor and explain the situation, right? Because this thing, whatever happened to you, let's just say it was completely out of control. It's very, understandable that you're not going to make it in. But if you've set yourself up for failure because you've never been on time, you've missed multiple appointments without calling, without explaining, you run out of your medicine a lot, little things like that, that's in your control, you know what I mean? Like, you let those things go. Then when something happens that's outside of your control, it's harder to recover, right? You don't have as many resources to pull on. And so Stoicism is also kind of like this philosophy of discipline. Working hard, even though it's difficult and tough. Look, when I was in college, man, I had to spend a lot of nights studying. And I wasn't the smartest student, so I had to really work hard because I knew I wanted to go to medical school. And how I was going to get in, I didn't know. You can watch my other videos on how I became an addiction doctor if you're curious about that. But there were a lot of nights when my friends were out, hanging out, partying, or whatever, and I was missing out because I was home studying. And I would think, is this really what I want to do with my life? It would have been so much easier to give up and just kind of taking the easy road. But instead, I had to kind of look at the big picture, what I call the long view. And I didn't want to sacrifice my long-term goals for just short-term, because of short-term problems. You know what I mean? Yeah, sometimes the things we do are difficult and hard, but when we're able to see the big picture, we know it's worth it. And most things in your life are going to be like that. Whether it's, tapering down Suboxone and you're dealing with the short-term withdrawal problems, which are, I'm not trying to minimize those. Or whether it's, dealing with the loss of a loved one, something horrible and horrific. There are ways you can process these things without letting them overwhelm you, right? Jesus kind of said it like this. He's like, let today worry about today, right? I'm sorry. Let tomorrow worry about tomorrow. You just worry about today. All right, that was a horrible paraphrase. But anyway, you get the picture, right? You understand what I'm trying to say. And this is common sense. I think we all know this, but I have to be reminded of this, right? And I study the Stoic philosophy regularly. Life is just going to be like that, man. There's going to be things that throw us out of our routine. There's going to be things that are difficult to do, but we have to see the big picture, right? And we have to just keep fighting for our goals, right? And we have to be disciplined and take responsibility for our lives. So when there are things in our control, there are things we can do better, we got to do them. Or else when those bad things hit, we've got no resources, nothing to pull on. Okay? All right, guys. Hope that helps. Shoot me a comment. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Dr. Chris Park. I'm a family physician and addiction doctor. And I hope you guys have a great day.